G'day, this is Central Coast Newspaper's weekly news 5 at 5 for the second week of October 2022. In the bulletin this week, passionate council meeting discussed your miners' Aussie flag tussle and Womberall's seawall DAs. Now, speed camera warning signs are set to return. The great Aussie bird count is due to start on Monday. The Mariners washed out of their own F3 derby, and Woytopia is coming back. Hi, I'm David Abrahams from Central Coast Newspapers. Now, there's been very passionate scenes outside Central Coast Council chambers for the council meeting. Talk with CEO David Farmer about what happened. David, big meeting last night at the council. The chambers were full, packed with all sorts of different people. What were the highlights as far as you were concerned?
Look, there were two really substantial matters on the agenda. One was the final decision on setting a set of minimum engineering guidelines for Womberall protection works. Essentially, what we've got there is a set of property owners who are entitled under New South Wales Government law to protect their property, and council is required to consider any DA that they may lodge. And what we've done is try to develop a set of guidelines that will develop the best possible outcome.
Now, other things, there's been a lot of hullabaloo about these banners / flagpoles. There's a little bit of argy-bargy last night there. What's the council's position? What are the facts about this?
Well, council had never contemplated banning the flying of the Australian flag, and in fact, the proposal put forward was going to put more flagpoles into Yamina, which was the area that was being considered. Unfortunately, don't get the facts getting in front of a good story, and there was a lot of noise around that council was looking to ban the Australian flag. There was nothing further from the case. The question in the debate was, should we have national flags on what are essentially advertising banners that are used to promote festivals and events throughout the city? Ultimately, after considering the matter, the administrator decided that yes, for Australia Day, we will permit community groups to propose putting flags up, but those flags should represent flags in accordance with Australian flag protocol, which will include the Australian flag, the Torres Strait Islander flag, and the Aboriginal flag.
Now, pop over to our YouTube channel to see the full uncut interview with Council CEO David Farmer. Now, warning signs are set to return around all mobile speed cameras on the Central Coast and statewide from January 1 next year. The region's MPs have been agitating for the return of the signage since 2020. We spoke with Shadow Minister for the Central Coast, David Harris.
Yes, so we welcome this. It's something we've campaigned on and members of the community have campaigned on since the government made the decision to remove the signs. If you're going to change people's behaviour in terms of speeding, it needs to be a program of education, not fines. And clearly, if people see the signs, they do slow down. And some people say, well, that they slow down for a very short time. But it's supposed to happen in areas with high accident rates. Yeah, well, I think the previous Transport Minister, Andrew Constance, actually had a real commitment to trying to change behaviour, and he really believed that this was the way to do it. So we're not critical so much that he was involved with his family in a car accident himself and was quite passionate about it.
Now, the first scheduled game of the A-League season, the F3 derby between Central Coast Mariners and the Newcastle Jets, was inundated by rain on Saturday evening and eventually cancelled. 8,000 odd fans had gathered to watch the match, the first match of the season in Gosford. Most of them crammed into the upper eastern undercover stands. The game will be rescheduled. However, the Mariners are now off to Wellington in New Zealand for their first match of the season. Now, the grass and gardens are growing rapidly, so let's pop over to our local gardening and bird guru, Cheralyn to find out a little of what's happening.
Down in the garden this week, the Great Aussie Bird Count, 17th to the 23rd of October. The Aussie Bird Count is a 20-minute activity for all ages that involves observing and counting the birds that live near you. Be an Aussie citizen scientist and help keep track of the bird life around us. Details and registration, aussiebirdcount.org.au. East Gosford Community Garden has a medicinal herb chat presented by local herbalist Cheralyn. Everyone is welcome to this free community event that's filled with a wealth of interesting and valuable information. It's on this Saturday, the 15th of October from 11am.
Now check out Cheralyn's comprehensive gardening page in this week's paper. Now all of this week's 42 local stories written by local journalists can be found on our news website, coastcommunitynews.com.au, and in this weekend's print edition of the Coast Community News. Find us via your mobile phone, Google News and Apple News apps, where fresh local stories are published every day. And listen in to Radio 5i Plus 93.3 FM throughout the weekend. And hey, why not subscribe to our weekly email newsletter via our website, or follow our socials via YouTube, Twitter, Facebook and Instagram for brief highlights throughout the week. Now we leave you this week with a little more festival news. The aptly named Woitopia Festival is coming up and the organisers are getting a little excited.
Welcome to Woitopia! There's lots of things for people to do. Lots of kids' entertainment, we've got bouncy castles, we've got the circus, we've got the wildlife park, heaps of exciting things. There's music as well, so kids of all ages can come along and really enjoy themselves.
Now where is it?
It's at Woy Public South School on the 30th, Sunday the 30th from 9 till 4 all day, so come along, bring your friends, family, come along and enjoy yourself.
I'm David Abrahams, have a great weekend and thanks for tuning in.